beautiful people, it is your girl T, and I'm back to do part 4, I believe, of Fairy Miracles, Clara Markova, and we are working on this beautiful page here. So pull this up. This beautiful page here, and we've done the mushroom and the stem, the cap, and the majority of the leaves for these flowers. So we're going to continue working on this. We're going to be doing the flowers now. And for the flowers, I'm just going to be using 2 colors for the flowers. But before we get into that, I wanted to let you all know that I'm going to actually be working on my picture in memory of Leslie Allen. You may have known her as Orion's Girl 93. And I was asked if we were going to be doing a coloring memorial for her, like they did for Always Coloring. And I said, hey, that's a good idea. So I found out that her favorite color is purple. And I also found out that her favorite illustrator is Clara Markova. She also likes Hannah Lynn, Kirby Rosanas, and I think Maria Troll and Emily Oberg, Lyda Hall. So I do know that her sister shared with me that the last picture that she was coloring before she passed away was this picture here in this book. So I'm going to actually be doing this picture in memory of Leslie. And if you'd like to participate, you can also, you can color any picture if you don't have the books mentioned. But if you want to color in one of those books, that would be fine too. And you can post the finished picture using this hashtag in memory of Orion's Girl 93. I'm sorry, if you are posting this on Instagram, you can also use this same hashtag. And if you'd like to tag me, you can. My Instagram name is going to be in the description below. Okay? So again, we're going to be coloring the flowers in this book, in this page. And I'm only going to be using 2 colors, and I'll let you know what colors those are now. We're going to be using orange yellow, which is number 602, and light vermilion, number 507. And I will go ahead and chat with you guys today too. So let me go ahead and zoom in. I'm going to start at the top. Okay, so excuse the background noise. Okay, so I hope everybody had a great weekend. I didn't do much, really. Friday, we were supposed to have soccer practice for Christian, but that got canceled because of the rain that we were having and the threat of severe thunderstorms. And so they went ahead and canceled practice, so we did not go to soccer practice. And this is actually the third week we've had to cancel practice. So you can imagine my little one's like, oh, I'm not going to ever play soccer, because he's been excited about starting for 3 weeks. Well, more than 3 weeks since we signed them up and went and got all the gear and all that. So yeah, he's not too happy. But hopefully this Friday we will be able to go to practice, his first practice. So keeping our fingers crossed. We're not supposed to have much rain at all. So all right, so for these flowers, for the first layer, I'm using the orange yellow. Okay. And I was a little, I went back and forth as far as what colors I wanted to color these flowers. I didn't know if I wanted to use yellow or purple, but I went ahead and went with an orange flower. So, and the reason why I did that is because I wanted to use a complementary color to this blue. And orange is the complementary color if you're looking at a color wheel. So I went ahead and said, well, I'll just use an orange color. I think that would look nice with these colors here on this page. So you can, if you're coloring this, if you prefer to use yellow, you can, use a yellow color. It will look, I believe it will look just as nice. Anyways, back to the weekend. So then Saturday, we didn't do much. I got up and went walking with my husband. We walked about 2 miles, and then came back and I danced for about an hour. My goal on Saturdays is to try to get 10,000 steps before like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so that's how I do it. I go on a long walk with my husband, and then I come back and I dance. I dance for about an hour, and not low impact dancing, but high energy. I like to dance to salsa music. So usually I'll have that on, or some R&B, pop music, anything that's high energy, so I can, kind of get into it. And usually when I'm dancing, Christian, he comes and peeks and watches, and I try to get him to dance with me. He's running around, I don't want to dance, I don't want to dance. But then you'll catch him doing little dances, So I was able to get my steps. So by the time that's done, I'm pretty much beat. And but I still had some running around to do. I had to go to the grocery store and get some things. So and then I cooked dinner that night. So moving around the kitchen. So you can imagine, I was really tired. So I did for that day, I did a little over 12,000 steps. And that's because I decided just to sit and relax, because I tired myself out. So I did a little bit of coloring, not very much, since my husband, works during the times I'm home. When he's home, I kind of like to spend time with him and, the boys. So again, these flowers I'm using orange yellow number 602. Orange yellow number 602. And I'm just putting a light layer on these flowers. So then on Sunday, got up and went to church and stopped to get some ice cream after church. Usually if Christian is good at church, occasionally I will reward him with ice cream. I don't know if you have a Brewster's ice cream in your area where you live or where you're from, but they do like they make the ice cream right there in the shop, and they have different, every day is, there are different flavors, and it's like probably about, I'd say maybe like 20 different flavors that they make right there on site. And they make their waffle cones from scratch or right there on site. And you can buy cakes and all kinds of yummies. So we went there and got ice cream and came home, and I cooked again. So I told my son tonight, I was like, you guys are, I'm not cooking tonight. So leftovers it is. You have enough leftovers from Saturday and enough leftovers from Sunday, to where we don't have to cook anything tonight. So, and thank God, because I really want to get this picture done. And I was like, oh my gosh, and I'm tired. I was up late. I was up till about probably 1:30 in the morning. I was working on a picture, and then I decided to watch a little bit of a program. And actually, I was working on a picture in Mysteria. Working on this picture with Lavelia from Lavelia's Coloring. And so me and her are working on this picture, and I actually had to get in contact with her because I thought I messed up on the skin tone of my picture. And I was like, oh God. Because, you know, the book is intimidating in itself because it's just so beautiful, and you just don't want to mess up anything in that book. So I had to send her picture, a picture of the pictures to see, hey, what do you think the skin is messed up here? And so she was able to help me. Oh, I forgot a leaf here. So she was able to, you know, give me her insight on it all. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to, she gave, you know, she's like, just, you know, walk away from it for a while and then come back. And I'm one of those people, if I start something and it, you know, frustrates me a little bit, I won't stop. I'll just keep going. So I took a mini break because I had to get, do something with Christian for bedtime. But then I came right back to, I think I took like a 5-minute break, and I came right back to it. And I was only supposed to do the skin, but I ended up doing the hair too. So I was up pretty late working on that, and, you know, just, you know, sitting and talking with my husband, and next thing, and watching, you know, some Netflix series that were in, I think it's called Happen Something. We were watching the Netflix series, and then I was playing my Words with Friends. I don't know if anyone plays that. I love that game. I'm addicted to it right now. I think I have like over 20 games going. I have so many games going that when I try to add a game, they're like, you have too many. You can't add it. You can't have this many games waiting in queue. So, so I was doing that, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? It's 1:30 in the morning. I have to get up for work like 5:45, and so I'm tired tonight. So if I'm babbling, it's because I'm tired. I'm sorry, y'all. But I think you guys like to hear a little bit of babbling instead of just, listening to music while someone's coloring. I kind of sense that from just some of the videos I've watched. People want to know what's going on with you, and because it allows you to kind of get a feel of the person's personality, what they're like, and although it can be kind of I was gonna say it's kind of, sometimes it makes me kind of a little nervous because I'm like, what do I talk about? Because it's not like I have a list of questions to answer. But if you ever are watching and you have questions about anything, please ask those questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer questions as long as they're appropriate and not, inappropriate questions. Of course, I'm not sure anyone would ask, but you never know who's watching and what people want to know. So I had to throw that out there. So I was able to get up on time for work today, but did I make it to work on time? No. Because I didn't stop and put gas in the car Sunday after church and after going to get ice cream. I didn't do that, and when I woke up this morning, I totally forgot I had to go get gas. So on the way taking Christian to school, I had to stop and get gas, and we were already about 10 minutes late leaving the house, 10 minutes later than I like to be. And so then adding in stopping, and then Monday traffic, I was about 10 minutes late for work. Luckily, I'm a supervisor and my boss, I'm not late. I'm usually on time for work. So, I don't get in trouble for stuff like that because I'm not an abuser of that, coming into work late. So, didn't get in trouble or anything like that, but I don't like being late for work. It irritates me when I'm late because I feel like then my whole day is going to be off. Especially on a Monday, you kind of want to come to work prepared and ready for work, and I didn't feel that way today. So I took a couple walks today, just to, just not feel overwhelmed with all the work that's coming at me. So I hope you guys had a great weekend and a great Monday. Mine was pretty chill, which is fine with me. Just, spending time with family and my husband. And I was supposed to go prom dress shopping. Oop, forgot another leaf here. I was supposed to go prom dress shopping with my goddaughter and my best friend on Sunday, but she, when she picked her up from her dad's, she was like, "Oh, I don't want to go." So it got canceled, but then, when they were driving home, her daughter changed her mind. Like, "Yeah, let's just stop by Macy's and look." So they went to Macy's to try to find something, and I think they found something. So she's supposed to be sending me photos of the dress. I guess they want my opinion about it. And so then this Saturday, then we're supposed to go look for shoes. So that should be fun. Who doesn't like to go shoe shopping? That's something me and my best friend like to do, is we like to go to Nordstrom's Rack to look for shoes, because we love shoes, and they have some of the best deals you can find in shoes. Okay, so we're done with the first layer using the orange yellow 602. Now I'm going to go to my light vermilion 507. And we're going to do some shading with that. So I'm just randomly, choosing areas. But if you notice in Clara Markova books, you don't have to shade in the areas where she has those dots, or the stippling. You don't have to shade there, but I think that's a great area to shade because, it looks good when you do it. So, but it's up to you how you like to shade. in that area, but I like to do it in that where the stippling is. Yeah, so we're supposed to be shoe shopping now. I hope I don't get in trouble because I don't need another shoe. But whenever you go out, you see something, you're like, oh, I would love that shoe. And my husband says I have no more space for shoes, so I better not bring any home. I better not bring any home because it'll be looking like you got more shoes. So, but hey, I'm a girl. I'm the only girl in the house, and that's something that we like to do. We like to shop for shoes. Shop for shoes and purses, or if you call it pocketbook, I call it pocketbook, but for you people who are not from the South, purse. Every time I call home and talk about, purses, or I say pocketbook, they're like, you're picking up that Southern talk. We don't say pocketbook. I'm like, well, you guys know what I'm talking about. I've been living on the East Coast since I was 21. And yeah, I've picked up a lot of different lingo. Because, if you're here, you want to kind of be able to communicate and not have people look at you strange like, what are you talking about? What's that? So I kind of have picked up a lot of the terminology that's used here or the names that people use for different things here. Okay, so we're just doing some shading here. I might press a little harder because I want that to show up a little more. I'm going to go back over these. Press a little harder. We'll always come back with I'll come back with the light, the yellow, orange, and filling this a little darker where this areas are light. So I know a lot of people do color alongs that they see on Instagram. And so I was asking Lavelia, hey, where do you find all of that? Because, even though I go on social media, I'm not on there a lot, and I don't get a chance to see everything that's going on. And, or, even on YouTube, I watch some YouTube, but I don't get to watch as much as I would like. And that's just because of my schedule. But so I asked her, and I'm like, so she sent me over to, I think it's Passionista Colorista. And I thought it was so cool that she, along with, I think, Shalene, go over, what actual color alongs are happening for each month. So I was able to actually go on Passionista Colorista on her gosh, can't get it out, on her Instagram, and see, who's doing what. And boy, are there a lot. So I was like, what can so I wrote down all of the ones that I was interested in to see which ones I could try to do, this month, even though we're already halfway through this month. See which ones I can kind of push out this month. So there's several ones. There's one with mermaids, there's fairy ones, there's bunnies, and I mean, there's a lot of good ones. So I'm gonna try to do some of those. There's even one with mushrooms, so maybe this one I can enter and, post for that one. There's mushrooms, some really cool ones. I wrote down all the ones I was interested in. I should have brought that piece of paper out to share with you guys. But so, do you guys do those? I think a lot of people do. It kind of gives you something fun to do. Now I know on my Facebook groups I do coloring challenges where I post a challenge as an announcement, and then you have a whole month to pretty much do the challenge. And I try to spice it up, could be color palette challenges, maybe working in certain books, certain themes, certain colors you can use. So try to make it interesting, and sometimes I do try to make it a little bit difficult only because it's a challenge. And so I do challenges, and then for you get one entry. You can do as many pictures as you like, and I put, if you participate, I put your name in a drawing, and at the end of the month I draw who the winner is, and I send you something coloring related. So I've been doing that for in my private Facebook group. I've been doing that ever since I started the group, and I think it's been about 2 years now. We'll be coming up on our 2-year anniversary there. And so I've been doing it for 2 years in that group, about 2 years. And people do participate, and it's really cool to see how everyone, how everyone does in those challenges, what they come up with. So it's pretty fun, and it gives something fun to do in the group. Another thing I do in the group, I think I'm only doing it in my private Facebook group, I have to double check that though, is a full book challenge, where the challenge is to complete a full book in a year. And basically you do a video of the book. It has to be at least 25 pages in length. And basically you do a video of the book, post it, tag me in it, and then you can start coloring. And that's been a success, and this will be year 2 doing that. So no, this will be the 3rd year, because this will be the 3rd year actually. I take that back, 3rd year. So actually 3 years doing the challenges as well. So if you're interested and you want to do challenges and things like that, for a chance to win prizes, go ahead and look into joining my Facebook group, any one of them. There are instructions on how you can join the private one. The reason why that one is private is because that particular group we're more like now a group of friends, and I actually did an actual poll to see how they felt about leaving it as a public group versus a private one, and I got majority vote to make it a private group where only you have to be invited into the group, so by a member. So that's why that one's private. I contemplated making it an open group or a public group, but the people have spoken. And so I kind of value what people want, especially if it's something that, something like a group, a tight-knit group like that. We're just a bunch of friends now. And so for the last 3 years, we've we've built this friendship. So I don't want, any drama. There's no drama allowed in my groups. Drama out the door. We don't do drama. So that's another thing. That is monitored. So you see a lot of that in other groups. And oh, you guys can put a page. Oh, but it's not even burnishing. I'm gonna go ahead and stick a piece of paper back here. I always forget to do that. And then I'm like, oh shoot. You remember, like, what's going on here? I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. But anyways, yeah, you see a lot of groups where some of that stuff is, slides. But when your groups are big like that, you really can't monitor everything and everyone. So, it's going to be harder to not have that kind of stuff go on. So I'm sure that the admins depend on, other members contacting them privately to let them know, what's going on. So, but yeah, so we're a no drama zone. All my groups are that way. Just don't tolerate it. I just want people to have a good time and have a place to come, to share their work and get some positive feedback, or get just feedback at all, from the work that they're doing. So, but again, if you're interested and you like doing kind of like challenges and you want to possibly win a prize for participating in a challenge, then check out my Facebook group. And they're listed again down in the description. Okay, so right now we're just doing some shading with the light Vermilion. And that's number 507. Gonna work on this a little bit. You guys can enjoy the music for a while. Okay, so we're about the halfway mark. I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to talk a little bit to you guys. I just need to take a break from talking. I starting to get sleepy just from the sound of my own voice and being quiet in here. You know, because Christian's off to bed, and so it's quiet in here, and so that is sleepy time. So right now, again, I'm working with the light Vermilion number 507, and just doing shading on these flowers. Again, you can do these flowers in any color, but I just chose to do this orange, yellow orange flowers. Yeah, so not much going on over here besides work, guys. Pretty quiet time in my life, which I am grateful for. You know, many years ago, I wouldn't be able to say that because I'm going through some, you know, things with deaths in the family, having a kid close to the age of 40, and having to do baby stuff all over again. You know, so things have settled down in life, and that's good. Good for me. Good for, you know, my husband. Just, you know, it's just time to relax and enjoy life and live life to the fullest and count our blessings and just be, you know, helpful and mindful of others and things like that. So just a really normal life for now. Who's to say that that won't change? And you know, who's to say that won't change tomorrow? You never know. So just grateful for today and grateful for now, the now. So I want to know if any of you guys do diamond painting, because I got 2 small ones a while back, and because it looked like so much fun. I was seeing that on some other YouTube channel, like diamond painting channels, and I said, "Oh, I want to try that," because it kind of reminded me of like cross stitch, and I used to cross stitch, and anything that kind of looks like that is interesting to me. They even have apps and like games you can download with that cross stitching, or I think it's another game you can play too. It's kind of like cross stitching, like pixel art and stuff like that. So when I saw the diamond painting, I was like, ooh, I want to try that. So I ordered some small ones, and I did a little lion, which was really cute. And I gave it to my son's kindergarten teacher. She loved it. She's got it hanging up in the classroom by her desk. So the second one I got was a fairy, because I like fairies, and so I'm working on that one, and I think I'm going to give that to her too, because if I do these, I'm not going to want to keep them. It's just something fun to do. Unlike, you know, my coloring books, I want to keep these. So I don't know if any of you guys are doing any diamond painting. It's so fun. I don't do many of them, but the ones that I do have and working on are quite fun. And if you do work on them, share with me where you buy yours from, because like I see a bunch of them everywhere, but it's like I'm not really sure about the quality of the, you know, of the actual product, because I've seen people like say that the paper, like the sticky is not all that great, like going out of the lines. That the, you know, the sticky side and some of these ones people are selling is not all that great, or you don't get a lot of, you know, you just, the diamonds are not as sparkly, things like that. So where do you get yours from? And what, like, is it a certain brand you recommend? Because I want to do a big one, and I think I want to give that to a friend. So if you could share that with me down in the comments, that'd be great, because I don't want to, you know, spend a lot of money on one that's not even a great, you know, a great one, a great brand or company you get it from. I want to make sure that if I'm going to spend the money on a nice big one, that it's a good quality. And most likely, you know, people who do them all the time have great information as where to get these good ones from. They probably buy them often from these companies they're buying them from. So if you know of any, let me know. That'd be great. Now, when you're coloring and you go out of the line, do you get a little, oh God, I went out of the line? Because you don't really have to, you know, you can always erase it. Now, if you're using markers, they're not so forgiving, so you really gotta, you know, you really gotta be careful when you're using markers. So, but this is coming right along, right along, right along. Oh, you guys just noticed there's a 4-leaf clover here. Haha. Sunday was St. Patrick's Day. I'm gonna make sure I can get that a nice, rich green color. All right, so we have a few more flowers to do here. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on those. And because our video is getting kind of long here. They're taking a little bit longer than I thought. I don't want to zoom too fast through this, because I do want the picture to look decent. I think it's gonna look decent. It's just, I kind of color fast because, you know, I don't have very much time in my day. So try to color fast, but try to color as neat as I can while I'm coloring fast. So what are some other books you guys that you guys would like me to color in, or supplies you'd like me to use? I know, I think I had one, somebody asked me about the, I think it was Pro Colors or the Light Fast, Derwent Pro Color or Derwent Light Fast. I can do a picture of that next if you'd like, or I'll do a picture with those pencils next. I have not used them. I haven't even swatched those yet, so maybe I'll swatch them and start a picture with you guys. Yeah, that would be nice. So you guys, I don't do any fancy swatching. I know some people do, and that's their, you know, that's their style. I like to keep them simple because I don't like to spend a lot of time swatching pencils, but I do like to swatch them just to see, you know, how they're looking on the paper, kind of get a feel for them before I start coloring in the books. So yeah, flowers are coming right along. Might have to sharpen this pencil. I could a more pointy tip for stuff like this. And for these pencils, I'm actually sharpening with the Derwent Super Point, which is the helical pencil sharpener. I love that sharpener. It's like savior for my Prismacolors that decide they want to break off continuously when you sharpen them with a handheld. So it's been like a lifesaver for my Prismacolor. Now I have the vintage Prismacolor as well as the, the ones made in Mexico. The vintage ones are made in the US, and those actual pencils, they sharpen differently, they color a little differently to me, and if you can get your hands on a set of those, I would highly recommend that you get those. They're lovely, lovely, lovely. And I can see why Prismacolor, was the color pencil to get many years ago, because those pencils are nice, and you can find them. People are selling them on eBay for a lot of money, but I would suggest, if you want to grab a pair, grab a set of those, that you try looking like locally for people who might be selling them like in estate sales, or just through like Craigslist or something like that. Just be really careful, of course, when you're shopping on those places and meeting up with people. You don't want to do so and get in harm's way. So just be really careful about that. There's also there's another place I go. Oh my goodness, I can't remember. It's an app where you can people will actually ship. They sell things on there, almost like eBay, but they sell. Oh, it's called OfferUp. There we go, OfferUp. OFFERUP, OfferUp, and I found a lot of my stuff on there. A lot of those pencils on there, and many people selling them. I don't know if they just want to get rid of them. They really just don't understand what they have. But I got a 72 set on there, along with some Prismacolor markers for like $40, you guys, and that was including shipping. I think it was 40 or 50, one of the two. $40 or $50 including shipping. And when I saw, I was like, "Do you still have this item?" And she's like, "Yeah, are you interested?" And I'm like, yes. And kind of just asked and make sure that they were if they were new or just like worn down. She had great pictures of them, and some of them were not even sharpened, you guys, so I lucked out. But I would suggest, if you're if you like Prismacolor and you want to try out the vintage ones, that you go and try to find them on sites like that. Then you won't really have to pay so much like if you would on eBay, because people on eBay, they price them out. They know how popular those pencils are, and they are going to charge you for them, charge you a lot. So I guess my worry with that is, whenever I see them on like someone selling them for really cheap, I'm really inclined to buy them, because if my other ones, because I do use them a lot, they wear out or they get low, I want to replace them with the vintage. I just like the quality of them. So, I might every once in a while see if there's a set, someone's selling, so I can get those pencils and add them to my stash so that I can have backups. And you know, if I can't find any, of course, I'll just have to use the made in Mexico ones. I mean, they're still nice pencils, but they're just a different quality. If you understand what I mean. Just a different quality. Even the wood is different. So even the wood is different. Anybody have any big plans for the summer? Any traveling going on? We're gonna probably stay put this summer and just do like, you know, day trips. Because we have, you know, the cruise coming up in April of next year. We're gonna get that all paid for and ready for us to get on that boat. Still nervous about it, but you know, I think we'll be all right. I really wanted to go to Myrtle Beach this spring. We were trying to start a new kind of like tradition of going at least, you know, in the springtime, like right before Mother's Day, and just having like a family trip. But this year we're not doing that. We have the house this year, so we're planning, trying to plan our housewarming party for spring this year, and that's another thing that I have on my plate. Is planning a housewarming party, because I'm not sure what day I want to do it, you know, what date. Do I want to do it in April? Do I want to do it in May? But definitely before we hit the 1 year mark, because we really haven't had time to actually have a housewarming party. I would have loved to have it, you know, as soon as we moved in, but you know, when you're moving in and trying to get settled, nobody wants to fool with you know, planning a party like that. So we just said we'll come back to it later when we're less, you know, busy and more settled. So now is the time. So I think I think I said this earlier or another video, trying to get my husband to do seafood, fried fish, because he makes like the best fried fish. So we'll see. We shall see. All right, so I'm going to finish up these here, and then we're going to say goodnight. So let me go ahead and sharpen, so I'll be right back. Okay, guys, look at that. Look at the tip on that. Wow, that's nice. Nice and pointy. So that's using the Derwent Super Tip sharpener, the helical one. So I really like the sharpener. It's really nice sharpener, guys. All right. And I'll put a link to that sharpener down in the description as well if you're interested in getting it. I think it's about 20, I want to say it's 20 something. But to me it's worth it. I've had it for a long time, and it's a great sharpener. And you get super points like that. Makes coloring details so much easier. I feel like I can go a little faster now because my tip is really pointy, and I can get into the areas I need to without you know, messing up. So So, oh, I forgot to share with you guys, I took my first watercolor class Tuesday of last week. I don't know if I shared that with you guys or not. If I did, please forgive me because I don't have good memory. I'm gonna try. I mean, I'm getting old, so. But yeah, I had my first watercolor class. Very interesting. Very fun. I was in the class, and I was the only person with youth. Put it that way. We had a lot of retirees in there, which I think is pretty cool. If they find, you know, things to do throughout the day, retirees, you know, they're not working, so you can't travel forever. So, you know, they find other things to do, you know, and they were so nice to me and so sweet. There was only one guy in the class, and poor fella. They're pretty rough. those older women are pretty rough. But he says, I'm so used to it. So I think that's pretty cool that he's okay with the ladies cackling and giggling and saying things about men. And so it was pretty fun. And I'm supposed to go tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be going. Tomorrow, I want to try to go tomorrow. But yeah, it's an artist who's actually giving the class, and so she's really good. I like the way that she does the classes. Like she comes in with a reference photo, and she has you sit around the table where she's working, and she'll show you step 1, step 2, and then you go back to your seat and you work on it. And then she walks around and she helps you, and tells you, okay, this is what this is why you're getting this effect, or you can do this, don't wet your paper so much, or, you need different types of paint. Maybe these, the paint that you have is just not working out. And I actually went to the class with a, what is it called? Sakura the Koi watercolor palette. And I noticed that they're using, like the tube watercolor. So when I first started my picture, it really wasn't doing what she was showing us, and I asked her, I said, I can't get my cat to look furry the way you're doing it. Is it because I have too much water? What do you think it might be? Could it be these paint? And she looked at my palette. She goes, yeah, it's the paint. She, said it's better that you use tube paints for this, and you're going to be able to get more pigment and things like that. So now I have to invest in some tube paints. I do have a tube paint set. It's Sennelier. But I don't know if I'm going to like using those in this class. So I'm going to try it with those paints and see how that goes. I have a set of, I think, 12 colors, and you should see these palettes. These people are like daggone professionals. But no, not really. They're all beginners, but their palettes are huge, and they have so many different colors, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to probably do some of this. But she said, don't worry about the number of paint colors you have, because we can always, you mix and, make your own colors. You can make colors. So I'm not going to worry too much about it, but she's so nice. Her name is Susie, and she actually does workshops for Jerry's Artorama. And I saw her at a fair at the Art of the Carolinas, and she mentioned that she did, watercolor classes. So I took her information, and yay, I finally got to go to one. I'm so excited about it. And this is just something I'm doing for me. I like watercolors. I want to learn technique, and because I do use them in coloring books, but I want to do the right techniques for watercolors, and she does know that I do them in coloring books, so or I use them in coloring books, so which she thought was pretty cool. I told her there's a lot of us who do that in the coloring community. We use watercolor in these books, and she thought that was so cool. To do that and then use color pencil on top. So in the class, I'm kind of learning how to do details with watercolor too. So I don't know if I want to be, just as far as the class is concerned, if I'm going to be doing the details with color pencil, because if I'm going to be taking the class, I want to learn everything I need to learn about doing the details with the watercolor paint instead of pencils. So all right, so we're coming up on finishing the last flower here, and finish that out. All right, guys, so there is the first layer. Let me zoom out so you guys can see this better. So we have the flowers pretty much done. Now what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to basically just go over the light areas just lightly with the orange yellow number 602. Orange yellow 602. It's really hard to see this because it's gold writing. I'm going to go over it lightly, and those will be done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you want to do the picture for Leslie, just remember to use Ryan's Girl 93. All right, y'all. Till next time, take care.